Hello everyone, welcome to Grace Hollow Rabbitry. I'm PJ and we are located in Northwest Arkansas, and as many of you know, I have a ARBA registered rabbitry where I raise meat rabbits. I raise New Zealand in black, blue, and broken, and recently I've gotten into silver fox, black and blue. I only have a handful of silver fox, and I hope to build that herd up as time goes by. And if you've been watching my fan page, then you know I'm midstream of a rabbitry remodel. We are moving the carport up this way out of the flood zone, and we are putting it onto concrete footers. Now we've got our concrete footers done. I hired a contractor to do that for me, and he has gained full-time employment and will no longer be working with me on this project. So I am pretty much on my own in this until I find another guy. But at this point, I've got to keep moving forward. So I'm going to do the best that I can until I can get some help. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I do know we are ready to move the carport. But I realized I need somewhere for those hanging cages that's currently in the carport. I need somewhere for them to go, even though those cages will be moved and those animals are going to move into the new carport in different cages. Those cages will still be used. The younger ones has to go in those, and so I can't have those cages sitting around unoccupied. So my next step in this rabbitry remodel is to build, if you've seen in the back, I have a air coop that houses 10 holes, and that's where I put a lot of my show stock currently. Now that's going to change too. But for the time being, I've got to find somewhere to put those hanging cages in the carport. So I'm going to build a similar air coop like that one. Now that one is suspended on 2 uprights that are concreted into the ground. The one that I'm going to attempt to build is going to be more like a boxed frame that roofs those hanging cages. Now those hanging cages, that whole unit is 12 foot. Actually, I measured it and it's a little bit off. It's actually 144 and a half inches. Some of the wire has gotten bent, and I'm sure that's compensates for that extra half inch. So anyway, it's 144 inches by 5 feet. So I need to build something that will allow that unit to go into the unit and then suspend. I want it hanging on the pipe that currently goes through to support it, and then right across the center I want to band that across the middle to a 2x8 that's going to be part of the roof, and so I want to do that. And the first thing I need are my legs, and I have determined I want my cage height at 54 inches. Now I can raise that if I need to by an inch or two when I set this thing onto concrete stepping stones to level it out with the ground, or from the ground level it. I can raise that if need be with a couple of stepping stones, but I'm going to start out at 54-inch height, and that's going to be the height of my legs. Now my roof pitch is going to be a little bit taller than that. By the time I put my 2x8 on there, I think 54 inches is going to end up being in the neighborhood of 61 inches at the roof peak, in that neighborhood. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going by the seat of my pants, and I'm doing the best that I can. So what I'm going to do first is I need 4 legs, and I'm going to cut them at 54 inches using the saw. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll come back at you. Okay, thankfully I double checked myself before I started cutting. I want the top of my cages at 54 inches, so that means I need my bottom crossbar at 54 inches that my post is going to sit on. And then we'll need an inch for the top bar, or what I call the anchor bar, that'll keep the post from bouncing. So to add in that pipe and the other bar, we're looking at 54, 55, 58 and a half inches. So I'm going to go ahead and make the height 60 inches. So with that being 60 inches, and then the roof is probably, the pitch is going to be between 68 and 70 inches. So now that I've double checked my math and double checked my design, I need 60-inch legs. So we're going to go ahead and cut the 4 60-inch legs. Alrighty then, I've got my 4 60-inch legs. Now what I'm going to do is my crossbars. They're also 60 inches because my cages are 5 foot wide. I actually measured them at 60 and 1/4 inch, but I want my legs to line up with the cages. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them at 60 inches, and then we'll just space the cages accordingly. We'll have 1/8 of an inch on each side, and that's okay with me. So I'm going to go ahead. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 crossbars, 1 support bar on each side, and then what I call my anchor bar, or the top bar, on both sides. So we'll have 4 of those, and we'll attach those to the legs. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. I have my tape measure. I'm going to measure this as 60 inches. Oh, and for those that like to know, if you remember our oldest daughter, we always called her Doolittle on camera. She moved to Oregon last year, and Miss Doolittle is my helper today. She moved back home earlier in the week, so welcome Miss Doolittle back. Hello, Doolittle.
Hey.
Big old fancy square. I couldn't find my little one today. Didn't even make that on the mark. What happened? Look at that. I swear that was on the mark. I don't know what I was looking at. Alright, it's gonna get loud. Okay, we'll do 4 more of those. Okay, so I've got my 4 legs and I've got my 4 crossbars over here outside of the camera view. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to measure up from the bottom of my post, the end that I want on the ground. I'm going to measure up to 54 inches and 55 inches on both of my legs. And then I'm going to screw, I have some 2.5-inch exterior screws, just plain old 2.5-inch exterior screws, nothing special. And I'm going to screw those in. And what I'm going to do is put the top of the board, the bottom board, the top of the bottom board square at 54 inches. And then on the top board, I'm going to put the bottom of that board at 55 inches. And then that way my 3/4 inch pipe can slip in between those, that gap, that 1-inch gap. And that way it won't have any bounce to that. So I'm going to go ahead and place that, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the other 2 legs, and then we'll go from there. So once again I double checked myself and I was incorrect. I actually have 1-inch pipe, not 3/4 inch pipe. And so I went and I measured the pipe just to make sure. And I learned something. A 1-inch pipe means the inside diameter of that pipe is 1 inch. The outside diameter of that pipe was actually right about 1.25 inches. So instead of 54 inches and 55 inches, I'm going to go with 54 inches and 55.5 inches. That way I have room for that pipe to slide in there. Now I rounded up. We needed 58.5-inch height, and I rounded up and said, no, we can make it at 60. So I'm okay. I don't have to change my legs. I didn't screw up too bad. I left some playroom, and now I see why I did that. So we have that playroom, and I'm okay. I haven't made a drastic mistake so far. So we're going to keep going, and now I'm going to go ahead and screw those supports and those anchors onto these legs. Okay, so I have both of my sides done. I think I'm going to need some support for the bottom legs. I'm not just sure yet. Towards the bottom, I mean. Let me lift these. I'll lift one. So this is what it's going to look like from the side. The cages, the pipe that hangs the cages will come through here, and we'll center them through. And then we will, originally what I had planned was to put these legs in the ground with concrete. But since I no longer have a contractor to do that for me, I had to do this in a way that I could do, and digging holes with a post hole digger, and I know nothing about concrete. I changed the design from legs and concrete to tabletop style, so that I sit it on stepping stones and level it out that way. And by doing that, I actually need an extra piece of lumber I didn't plan on having. I've got a crossbar to go across the top, but I think I'm going to need one to go towards the center here for extra support. So I might not be able to finish this today, because I may have to get 2 more 14-foot 2x4s that was not planned in the original scheme of things. So since I had to alter that, I may have to get more lumber. But anyway, we've got our sides. So what I'm going to do is move these sides down close to the placement of the air coop, because once these are put together, I'm no longer going to be able to move this. It's going to be too heavy and mostly too big and too awkward for me to move myself. So I'm going to go ahead and move these down there, and we're going to move our work site down there.